Okay, so this video presumes you've already done the politics and war tutorial and that you know the absolute basics. So we're just going to go straight into what you should buy first to be able to grow your nation as efficiently as possible. So in terms of power, buy nuclear power. The rest are terribly inefficient. You'll only need one nuclear power plant up till 2000 infrastructure. So very, very long time. Don't go over 2000 for now. Next, then you want a police station. So a police station dramatically reduces crime, and crime kills a huge chunk of your population, which reduces your income. Police station. Cool, next we're going to go with raw resources, bauxite mines, oil mines, and iron mines and coal mines, all very, very effective. Do not buy farms, do not buy any farms, buy all your food off the market, buy all your uranium off the market. One exception, if you want to have one uranium mine because you're rarely logging in, that's perfectly reasonable, but only one. So in this case, we'll just spam all mines. Oh yeah, you can just spam click to buy things really, really quickly. In terms of military, then you're going to want 5 barracks. Soldiers are very, very effective in the other game. Hangars and factories are less efficient. They are not as powerful in the early game because people don't tend to have tanks, aircraft, and ships. In your case, though, yes, you're going to have 5 barracks, 1 dry dock, and we'll say 1 hangar. That gives you access to a range of all the military attacks. All the conventional military attacks, excluding missiles, nukes, and spies. Next, we'll just spam more mines. Now that we've maxed this out, we'll just move to the next one. So bauxite mines. And we'll check revenue. So I have 5 cities on the test server, but in this case it should only show the output for 1. So 45, 3, and 435 food. So you'll go to the trade page and you will buy whatever food you need. All the prices on the test server are completely ridiculous, so ignore this. Yeah. Oh, for some reason they're normal. Okay, so in this case we are just going to buy enough for 2 days, so 900. Cool. Try to have enough food on hand for 7 days, same with uranium. In general, that's a good rule. And then when it comes to oil production and bauxite production, the resources we have chosen to produce, then we'll create an offer. We'll list the price, which will always be 1 less than the price it's being sold for on the market. In this case, that's 50 million. It's usually around 3,000 to 2,000. It's in that sort of range. So you create a trade offer, you list the PPU, you list the amount, the price per unit, you list the amount you want to sell. So we'll do it like 50 and then like 100. No, sorry. And then 3,000. And then you're able to sell that. Cool. And this is one of your main sources of income. So this will account for almost 30 to 40% of your income, depending how active you are. Cool. We'll go to the nation edit page because that's also quite important. So you're going to want to change your domestic policy to urbanization. You're going to be buying a lot of infrastructure. Most of your cities are cheap, so we'll just ignore that. Manifest destiny, also a great policy, but we'll ignore that for now. Urbanization is much better in the short term. For war policy, you want to change it from turtle to pirate. And this is absolutely mandatory, great policy. And in terms of the color trade block, then we're going to select Camelot or just maroon. Beige is very, very useful, and it does provide a very, very nice bonus. But maroon does as well, and it's Alliance's color trade block. Save policies. Another thing you should do, which is very, very nice, is to vote for our name on the color trade block. So, new vote. Cool. In this case, usually you just vote for one of the pre-existing options, but there isn't one at this time. So vote for Camelot, the Kingdom of Maroon. Your nation should now be mostly functional. Ignore this. After a turn, or if you buy uranium from the market, then your cities will be powered. I forgot to mention this. Your infrastructure and land should both be near 1,000. So some good benchmarks, like get them both to 500, get them both to 1,000, get them both to 1,500. In this case, you can actually use the @ symbol plus a destination to go up infrastructure. So 1,100 specifically, and then you can just type in 100 if you just want to go up that amount. Those are two different ways of buying infrastructure, both very, very useful. In my case though, I'm just going to go with 1,500 and at 1,500. And boom, we've hit our next benchmark on the dot. Once you have 1,500 infrastructure and land, then we're going to switch our economy from raw resources to manufacturing and to commerce. And we're also going to convert our military. So let's start with economics. You're going to want to max out your commerce. This increases your cash revenue in comparison to raw resources, which are increasing your resource production, and you can sell the resources and convert that into cash. So commerce is the narrow road, and resources is the longer road. Cool. So the best way to hit 100% commerce is with 3 stadiums and 4 shopping malls, 4 banks, and 1 subway. And am I missing something? Yes, I am. I need to remove the oil wells because they have served their purpose and are not necessary in a more modernized economy. The next thing we'll do is to increase our military. So this means lots and lots of hangars. Aircraft are the most important unit in the game, objectively. They are decisive in wars between alliances, since once you have air superiority, you can destroy any other unit with impunity. Only tanks can destroy aircraft, and other aircraft can destroy aircraft. So in most situations, if you win the air war, then you win the war, period. Cool, next we're going to buy hospitals. They are much cheaper than recycling centers, so go with that. You're going to want to have 0 disease. So our disease is quite high right now, so we're going to try and reduce that. Because the nation is unpowered, so I'm going to go and find some uranium, if there is any on the market. And awesome, that should now be powered. Cool, and then we'll convert 1 more oil well into a hospital. Brilliant, so your nation is now perfectly set up. So you have a strong military, you have, or at least the improvements for a strong military, you have commerce, you have no disease, which reduces the amount of revenue you produce, and you are producing some raw resources which you can still sell for a profit. So our revenue has jumped by leaps and bounds, quite significantly. And our expenses are quite low. That's going to change in a minute as we buy military units. So it takes roughly half a week to buy 2 max military. In your case, then you're going to try and max out your soldiers, and you're going to max out your aircraft and your ships. You are also going to be buying spies. Spies are very, very useful, but for now, they're not too important. Just have them on hand or when we require them. Now that we have some semblance of a military and our nation is mostly set up in that first city, we are going to start declaring some wars. Find nations in war range. You can declare war on anyone that's not in an alliance. So generally you want to pick targets that have a lot of money, and you can deduce this by finding nations that have been recently attacked without an alliance, checking their war activity, and hopefully, yes, they have been defeated. So you can actually see how much was taken from them. This is ridiculously high, but in your case it'll be at least $1 million or $2 million in cash and a few hundred of each resource. Try and pick targets that have a significant amount of loot, a significant amount of resources, because then you can take a portion of this when you win the war and sell it, or use it to grow your nation in terms of cash. The fastest way to win a war is with 10 ground attacks. So I'm going to find this nation, declare war, and they're outside my war range. We'll find someone who is in the war range. Go with this person and declare war. You're going to want to select raid wars. If you select any other type, then you'll be getting a much lower percentage of the loot that you could potentially get. So instead of getting like 2 million like that other raider was, I would only get like 1 million if it was an attrition, or if it was an ordinary war, and 500k if it was an attrition war. It's very much reduced. And this is going to look completely different for you because this is the test server and everything looks weird here. Cool, airstrike. Oh, not airstrike, sorry, ground attack. Here we go, ground battle. Awesome. And immense triumph. There are multiple different types of success, or lack thereof. You have utter failures, which is when your military units completely fail their attack. This is usually when you have less of them. Pyrrhic victory, which is where you destroy more of their units than you lose units, but you still lose and do not destroy that much resistance. Moderate success, which is a moderate success, you both destroy a lot of units, and immense triumph is where you lose the least units and you destroy a lot of resistance. Each nation has 100 resistance. As you can see, the first to hit 0 loses. So your objective is to reduce them to 0 in the quickest possible time, that is with ground attacks. So with ground attacks, that's 10 ground attacks to win the war, and with 5 naval attacks and 3 ground attacks, then that is another way to win the war. Both are roughly the same, and it takes about 2 days. You can have 5 wars going concurrently, and I advise you do, because it will increase your income dramatically. Most of your income in the lower tier is from raiding, and we will require that you raid at least 75 million cash if you want to be in the main Camelot alliance. So cool, do that. And we're just going to rinse and repeat. Awesome, see? So just keep track on all your wars. You gain a map, a military action point every 2 hours. You can see the countdown to this in the bottom left hand corner of the main page. Awesome, so that should be everything. That's the easiest way to grow your nation. Oh wait, no, there is one other important thing, buying cities. So you are going to want to copy your improvements to your other cities. So first step to do this is to get all your other cities to the same infrastructure and land as your first one. So in my case, I have more than a few cities, but you should only have at max 3 or 4 when you're doing this yourself. I would avoid buying more cities until you've raided 75 million. You can do it sooner, but you then lose the ability to declare war on nations that are inactive and have a lot of resources. Once that's done, I can click import export, and I will get a copy of all of my improvements in a really weird format. And then I can click import, and in this case I can see how many resources it would take to import it to all my cities. But I'm just going to do bulk import to everywhere all at once. In your case, you'll probably have to do it city by city, as it does require a fair bit of money. And then that's done, and your nation is now producing a lot more stuff. Income's doubled or tripled. And then the way you continue to grow is by buying more cities. So construct your next city here, and then the same process. So you buy up to 1500 infrastructure, same as with your other cities, and you import the build that you already have. In terms of going above 1500 infrastructure, then that's really, really simple. So you're going to want to increase your resources whilst keeping your disease at 0. So we'll say that at max you get up to, say, 2000 infrastructure. You're going to want to keep your land the same as your infrastructure still. And you are going to buy some manufacturing improvements. So we'll buy some oil refineries. And then some more oil wells to keep up with them. And then some more civil improvements. In this case, it probably is worth buying a recycling center. And yes, perfect. So that's a pretty good setup. 3 hospitals, 2 recycling centers, at least that's guaranteed that works. And 5 oil refineries and 5 oil wells works quite well. And that should dramatically increase your production and your general income. If you want to take it one step further, then you should look into projects. So projects increase resource production, they give you access to extra military attacks, and they give you access to military buffs and discounts. In your case though, you are going to be buying the emergency gasoline reserve, or something like the bauxite works, or iron works, or arms, where is it? The other one, the arms factory. Arms stockpile. Cool. So in your case, emergency gasoline reserve. And what this does is it increases the production of your gasoline, your oil refineries, your gasoline production. See, so gasoline refineries now produce 90 ton a day. The oil drilled is 23. Uranium mined and food mined is both negative. So you buy these both off the market and you sell production of both of these. The best way to sell resources is via the alliance market. So you do this by selecting the alliance trade offers to view what's already on sale. And when you're creating offers, then you select not global, but alliance. So same as normal, we'll say oil 500, price per unit. And generally we make it a bit lower than market, so if market's say 3000, then we'll put it as like 2500. And what this does is it allows people to buy resources at cheaper rates within the alliance and grow their nations that much more quickly. It's especially efficient since the alliance can buy it itself and then distribute resources equally amongst different nations, so we maximize our growth together. If you buy resources on the alliance market and then sell it on the primary market to reap profit, then we will remove you from the alliance, since it's bad practice, it's acting in bad faith.